Good morning and welcome to the News at 10 on NTA News 24, coming to you live from Abuja. I am Vivian Izadifi. The headlines.
This insecurity, everyone is affected, Christian, Muslim alike.
Nigerian Air Force decimates bandit camps in Katsina State. First Lady emerges grand patron for African Women's Volleyball Championship. A special committee is to be constituted with the aim of addressing religious-related issues and to strengthen the bond of unity amongst people of different faiths in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu acceded to this idea at a meeting with a delegation of Catholic bishops of Nigeria who paid him a courtesy visit at the State House. State House correspondent Musbah Nawahab reports.
A delegation of Catholic bishops, fresh from the first annual plenary of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, CBCN. It was the first of such visits from them to the presidential villa under President Tinubu. Hence, an appraisal of various policies and programs of the administration, including the overtly laudable ones and the unpopular but necessary others, like fuel subsidy removal and the tax reform initiative,
Which, in the long run, we hope will generate more resources for advancing the common good. We earnestly pray that at both national and subnational levels, adequate checks and balances will be instituted to curtail waste and promote prudent stewardship of our nation's resources.
There are also recommendations from the outcomes of your summits. These include demand for the return of admission schools to the religious bodies, the need for improved security and religious tolerance in parts of the country.
We appeal to Her Excellency to direct the Ministers of Education and Health to ensure equitable access to land for places of worship for both Christians and Muslims across the country without delay.
Information and National Orientation Minister and the National Security Advisor had their time to highlight various efforts of the administration.
Yes, fuel subsidy removal had gone, but we're happy to also see, Your Excellency, that not only the federal government, the subnationals and everyone, more resources to spend, and therefore discipline is coming back, and then the future of our children is kept assured.
More promising are the assertive assurances from President Bola Tinubu. The president was spared no efforts in justifying his administration's decision, particularly the removal of fuel subsidy threatening the future of the country. And he says his government's ultimate goal is to reset the social and economic sectors of the country, while also combating concerns of insecurity and poverty confronting Nigerians.
And poverty has no religious basis. It has no religious connotation, no identity. It affects all, and we must fight it together. This insecurity, everyone is affected, Christian, Muslim alike. But we have to think of our country as if this country must develop, must go beyond myopic beliefs, must stand beyond religious bigotry.
With his administration yet to clock halftime in the saddle, President Tinubu assures he is beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel with the hope of a more prosperous economy gradually returning.
The economy has turned around, and the certainty of investment is there. People are coming in to invest in Nigeria. I am very proud of that. Within what seems to be a very difficult beginning, is now showing us hope. If you see competition among the petroleum sellers, Dangote and others in pricing, if you are seeing the prices of foodstuff going down.
And for the greater Nigeria desired, the President expresses readiness to collaborate with bodies like this to uplift the country. From the State House, Musbah and Wahab, NT News.
The Labour Party presidential candidates in the 2023 general election, Peter Obi and Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, have emphasized the importance of patriotism and national unity, which they said are essential for national growth and development. This was when the two political leaders met in Bauchi with the view of joining hands for progress of Nigeria. Awal Abdullahi has details.
This is a consultation meeting by presidential candidates of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, with Governor Bala Mohammed on the challenges affecting the country's democracy. The two political leaders are of the belief that the country's socio-economic and political stability can only be achieved if there is unity among its people toward achieving a common goal.
I want us to collaborate. I want us to come together as a body and everything, but I want us to discuss what we are going to do together to build a better place for our children, to build a better Nigeria. That is more critical than anything.
Coming together to work together, irrespective of party, irrespective of region, irrespective of religion, irrespective of anything, as statesmen, as Nigerians, and as politicians, and because we believe in one thing, that is service to the people.
Tackling poverty and unemployment, strengthening the fight of anti-corruption and promotion of inter-ethnic dialogue were the issues that the meeting believed will help Nigeria to achieve its targets. In Bauchi, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
Key players in Nigeria's peacemaking projects are advocating continuous dialogue, love, and mutual respect for one another irrespective of socio-political and religious divides to engender national prosperity and stability. This was a call to action at the 2025 UF-UK Dialogue and Friendship Iftar Dinner and World Ceremony in Abuja. Oluseya Diamo reports.
The UFOC dialogue is with a clear mission to foster understanding amidst division, amplify voices of peace where discord exists, and remember that people be treated equally. This 8th edition is themed Reserve in Your Heart, a seat for everyone, just as the project has afforded everyone, regardless of faith or background, emphasizing everyone's place in a shared humanity.
Our team is not just words, it is called to action. As you see today, different religious people are living together, then sharing together, we are opening fasting together. So this is one of the most important days for Nigeria and all over the world.
We have choice whether to live in peace or not, and that is one of the reasons why I always remember UFOC Dialogue Foundation, because they want us to make the wise choice of living in peace.
I want to continuously pledge our support for all the programs of UFOC Dialogue, because what you do is so inspiring and that you are so intentional and deliberate about it.
Ramadan is a set, is a paste that is being set for us to live on. But what do we do after Ramadan is the next question I want all of us to ask each other.
Break our prayer, our fast.
It is a unique evening coming in the month of Ramadan and the Lenten season to share dinner together with messages on commitment to peace through dialogue.
You cannot be an enemy of someone who you have eaten with. So I want to thank Ufuk.
So I think it's a very inspiring story. They are very committed to dialogue, they are very committed to social welfare, community development, peace building. So I think that we have a lot to learn from them also.
Some of the dignitaries awarded on the evening include former President Muhammadu Buhari, who bagged Lifetime Recognition Award for Peace, as well as Reverend Joseph Sile and Muhammad Nuruddin Lemu were recognized for their role in the religious cycle.
Leader waters must be watered.
It is indeed a moment to remind that change does not come only from grand gestures alone, but from the daily acts of kindness, the willingness to listen, and the courage to embrace everyone irrespective of their background. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
The Jigawa State Government and the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, have signed an ambitious multi-year work plan aimed at improving key sectors, including health, education, child protection, and social welfare. Mohammed Musa Askira reports that the agreement underscores a shared commitment to enhancing the quality of life of residents, particularly children, by prioritizing critical investment in human development.
The event, held at the council chambers of the government house, brought together top government officials and UNICEF representatives. Speaking at the event, UNICEF Chief Field Officer for Kano, Rahama Rihud Farah Mohammed, emphasized the moral and social necessity of investing in children. He stated that addressing social protection challenges, child poverty, and other forms of deprivation require a dedicated and strategic approach to address. Governor Umar Namadi reaffirmed his administration's commitments to ensuring that every child in Jigawa State is protected, empowered, and given the opportunity to thrive. He stressed that government will continue implementing result-oriented programs to accelerate development and create a brighter future for the younger generation. As part of the initiative, the Jigawa State government and UNICEF have earmarked about 140 billion naira to fund a key project across the ministries of education, health, social protection, and good governance.
The children of Jigawa State are the future of this great nation. And investing in their well-being is not only a moral imperative, but also a strategic decision.
We will continue to ensure that the rights of our children everywhere are protected, safeguarded against all forms of abuse. And we will strive to maximize environmental and social impact while being proactive in mitigating any unintended consequence of the program implementation.
These investment stakeholders say are expected to drive long-term transformation by strengthening critical infrastructure, improving service delivery, and expanding access to essential social services. The collaboration between Jigawa State and UNICEF, according to stakeholders, marks a significant step towards a more inclusive and sustainable development model, ensuring that children and vulnerable populations receive the support they need to lead healthier and more productive lives. From Duty, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
You are watching the news at 10 on NTA News 24. More reports shortly.
Celebrate Ramadan with Bafi and enjoy up to 40% off on selected products from living room, dining room, bedroom, and royal sets. Pay less, save more, and refresh your home for iftar gatherings and cherished moments with family and friends. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online to enjoy our exclusive Ramadan sale. Let's make this Ramadan unforgettable.
Welcome back to more reports. To promote accountability in post-election justice delivery, Action Aid Nigeria is advocating increased civic consciousness with recommendations on ways to improve judicial processes. This was during a press briefing in Abuja by the Independent Judicial Accountability Panel set up by Action Aid Nigeria. Ekene Ndulwe reports.
The citizens-led engagements on judicial accountability in post-election justice delivery is designed to hold tribunals and court judges accountable. This panel, made up of retired justices of the Court of Appeal, academics, legal practitioners, and development professionals, has analyzed recent cases by the Supreme Court and ECOWAS Court, including the Rivers State House of Assembly and Speaker versus governments of Rivers State and others.
That complex and lengthy judgments, of course, defy easy comprehension and therefore undermine public trust. For this reason, IJAP recommends 1. That the judgments should start with summary of facts. Then 2. Using simpler legal language. Then 3. Mentioning names of parties in the body of judgments rather than solely their legal designations.
The panel is advising government at all levels to obey court orders and respect the fundamental rights of citizens in a democracy, and also outlined the roles of citizens.
So citizens getting involved is about knowing the law, what the law says, and the Constitution has gotten processes of citizens' engagement, which is from cooperation to confrontation, but non-violent.
The panel says recommendations from each sitting will be adopted by a coalition of civil societies for increased advocacy towards judicial accountability. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force has decimated bandits in Katsina State as the air component of Operation Fansanyama executed a precision airstrike neutralizing notorious bandit hideouts in Ngwargoga Hill Forest, Rongodia Ward, Faskari local government area. A statement by the Deputy Director of Public Relations and Information, Group Captain Kabiru Ali, indicates that the airstrikes, which preceded careful and actionable intelligence, advancing purposeful lethality, destroyed the fortified camps of notorious bandit kingpins, Gero and Alaji Riga, neutralizing over 20 criminals, with additional casualties reported in the surrounding rocky hills. Riga and Gero were key enablers of banditry, sheltering terrorist elements responsible for relentless ambushes along the Funtua-Guzo road, particularly between Yankara and Shema villages. Their elimination marks a major breakthrough in the ongoing military campaign to restore peace in the northwest, as the NAF, in coordination with ground forces, remains relentless in its mission to eradicate all threats and dismantle bandit strongholds. World Health Organization, WHO, has made a significant donation of essential medical supplies to Borno State, Nigeria, to support the scaling up of nutrition and health services, particularly in flood-affected areas. WHO Acting Emergency Manager for Northeast, Kumshida Yakubu Balami, donated items specifically designed to support health facilities in targeting malnutrition in response to the pressing health needs in Borno State, where malnutrition is a significant concern. Commissioner of Health, Professor Baba Malam Gana, emphasized that malnutrition can be triggered by infectious and insurgency, and if left untreated, can severely impact children's development and mental growth, and expressed gratitude to WHO for its unabated support, particularly during the flood disaster in September. International Day for Women may have come and gone, but the spirit is still with the Kogi State Council Women Committee of Nigerian Labour Congress, drumming support for Nigerian women in Lokoja. Special advisor to the governor on labor matters, Eduka Ono, at the event called on women to support Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo to reap the dividends of democracy. Ajibola Christopher reports.
The International Women's Day celebration in Lokoja has its special theme, March for Women and Girls for Equity and Empowerment. Chairperson, Nigerian Labour Congress Women Committee, Habibat Umar Ibrahim, notes that the theme became necessary to remind women of the need to continue advocacy for policies and actions that breaks barriers.
Championing the rights of women workers and ensuring that our voices are heard in decision-making processes.
In a keynote address, Special Advisor to the Governor on Labour Matters, Onu Edoka commends women on the day, disclosing that it has become a hallmark for labour movement in Nigeria to ensure that women are united.
The equity space for women appointments into this administration has been a very large one and has even surpassed the 35% affirmation you are requesting.
Bring them on board, support them, so that we can bring about that equity.
It's not that we are not in the position right away. We are, but we need more.
The occasion featured a paper presentation by Eunice Abimbola Obogun calling for women inclusion in all spheres of governance.
It matters because gender equality is not just a moral imperative, but also a key to achieving sustainable development.
They look forward to benefiting from the 35% affirmative action given the March for Women and Girls.
They believe are having a negative effect on women and their clamor for more representation in governance.
Nigerian women have worked hard to earn respect, yes, and representation, who have fought tirelessly with dignity and equity in public and private space.
At the position of Senator Akpabio, who is a role model, we are focusing our economy, we are focusing our country. We are to build a united Nigeria. We are asking Akpabio to forgive Natasha because it's a credible act that we know him for that attitude.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Another look at our top stories.
Insecurity, everyone is affected, Christian, Muslim alike.
President Bola Tinubu meets Catholic bishops, agrees to constitute special committee to address religious matters. Nigerian Air Force decimates bandit camps in Katsina State. First Lady emerges Grand Patron for African Women's Volleyball Championship.
This is NTA News 24.
Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has been honored as the Grand Patron for the 2025 African Women's Volleyball Championship, scheduled for April this year. The honor was conferred on her by the Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, who led a contingent from the Nigerian Customs Service and National Sports Commission to her office in the villa. State House correspondent Adeniyi Taiwo reports.
First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is fast gaining reputation as a pillar of sports in Nigeria, particularly where it involves women. She is expected to carry yet another torch for women, this time as the Grand Patron for the 2025 African Women's Volleyball Championship, to be hosted by Nigeria, with the Customs Service flying the flag of the nation. The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, while presenting her with the offer, says the service has taken particular notes of her support for female athletes and teams in the country and will want her to inspire the Nigerian team to victory at the championships.
It is, I believe, that your presence in the official opening of the ceremony, your support for the championship, your guidance, your advice would immeasurably elevate the significance of this championship and inspire this group of athletes in Nigeria and other parts of Africa to even greater heights.
In sports, we want the motherly love to continue to permeate the air because it will resonate amongst our girl, child, and the women who are already in sports.
Not known to say no to women causes, the First Lady accepted the offer to save to a loud applause.
And I keep telling women there's always a space for you. There's a space for you. Nobody's asking you not to amount to anything. You just have to work more.
She called on female star athletes from Nigeria to come back home and inspire other girls.
Doing like Toby Amushon, that you said, these are role models for our girls. But don't go out and just be popular there and don't bring it back home. They should come and encourage other girls. I want them to do that. It matters a lot. When God gives you a platform, you are not just standing for yourself, you are standing for millions of other women.
23 other African countries are expected to join the host at the championship, which runs between April 1 and 14. In the State House, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
And that's the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Do remember to be part of the news updates at 11. I am Vivian Izadi. Many thanks.